would protect my own students when I would see other people mistreat them. And I realized that's primal. It's what we do. It's primal. So what I saw were children being destroyed because their schools were shut down, their relationships were broken. And the way the people that made the decisions acted as if this was no big thing, they'll get over it. They're children, they're resilient. But they didn't realize they weren't sending children to better schools, but that's what they said they were going to do. They were putting children in harm's way. Chicago is not New York. Chicago is an infinitely more dangerous city than New York. You guys are way bigger than we are, but we have a much higher incident of violence. This has happened for years. This just didn't happen last year. Very, very different. Our housing patterns are different. Chicago is the most segregated city in America. We call the system of education in Chicago an apartheid system, and the press got mad with me because I said that out loud. And I'm like, I didn't say it was the most segregated city in America. This came out from the federal government. Why am I in trouble? I also find that when you tell the truth, realize it's a double-edged sword. Realize that it's a double-edged sword. And there will people who will use your words against you. There were people who will bomb you on Twitter. I have been called so many things, I gotta tell you. But you have to have a thick skin if you're going to fight the real fights. If you're going to fight for justice. Shirley Chisholm got called a whole lot of horrible things. Be very clear that anyone who chooses to stand up and say, this is unjust, there will be people who will never agree with you. That's okay. You're not going to change their minds. Who controls the image and why? What sound bites do they choose? Because this is going to be on the net, you're going to see this. And which ones will be on Fox News? Because they'll be on there. My boyfriend Kyle Olson of the EAB, who hates unions and calls public schools government schools, he'll find a little piece. Hi Kyle, this is for you. He'll put it up, he loves me, he stalks me. So, what you have to understand is that we all have a responsibility to the people that come behind us. Every last one of us. If we have an education, it is our responsibility to teach. Whether you do this as a teacher in a public school, or whether you do this in whatever your chosen field, it is your responsibility to mentor the next generation. Our stories cannot be lost. Someone has got to record them, someone has to tell them, but someone has to interpret them. And you have to have the skills to do that.